Hey, Stepsters. I'm Lasia.
And I'm Kritika, and we're your trainers from Future Steps.
Today we'll be looking at molecules, compounds, and how to name them. Get ready to explore the tiny building blocks that make up our entire universe. Together, we'll discover what everything around us is really made of and how these microscopic pieces connect to create our world.
So let's get started. Now we're going to talk about atoms. Atoms are the tiniest building blocks. They're like the Lego bricks of the universe. Too small to see, but they make up everything around us. Each type of atom is called an element. For example, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. Scientists have discovered over 100 different types of atoms on Earth, each with its own special properties.
Now let's look at molecules. These are atoms holding hands. What is a molecule? A molecule forms when two or more atoms join together with special bonds, like holding hands. Same atom molecules. Some molecules are made up of the same kind of atom, like oxygen gas. So when two oxygen atoms mix with one another or connect with one another, it's going to be O2, which has two oxygen atoms linked together. Then we have different atom molecules. So other molecules are made up of different kind of atoms, like water, right? It has H2O. So we have this has hydrogen and oxygen mono atoms, making it have two different kinds of atoms.
Now let's talk about compounds, which are special molecules. A compound is a molecule made of two or more different types of atoms chemically bonded together. Compounds have completely new properties, different from the atoms they're made from. For example, water or H2O is a compound of hydrogen and oxygen, and carbon dioxide, CO2, is a compound of carbon and oxygen.
Now let's compare molecules and compounds and spot the difference between them. So let's look at what molecule is again. Any group of atoms joined together can be the same or different atoms, right? Examples are oxygen gas, so O2, which has two oxygen atoms, or water, which is H2O, which has oxygen and hydrogen atoms. Then we have compound, and like Kritika said before, it's a molecule specifically made from two or more different types of atoms. Example could be water, which is H2O, is a compound because it has two different atoms, right? Hydrogen and oxygen. And then we have oxygen gas, which is O2, which is not a compound because it's two oxygen atoms, which are the same types of atoms. So the key takeaway is that all compounds are molecules, but not all molecules are compounds.
Mhm. You should remember that because that'll be pretty useful to know the difference. Now let's get into the naming game. What's their secret name? So we know water is H2O made of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. So we call this water, but it can also be called dihydrogen oxide. And why is that? Is because we know that di means two, and this is hydrogen. So two hydrogen would be dihydrogen, and then for oxygen we have oxide. And remember, every single one of these are going to end with IDE. So whatever it is, it's always going to end with ide. And then we have carbon dioxide. Notice, still ends with ide. This is CO2, and di means two, so carbon dioxide means two oxygen atoms, and that's one carbon atom. And then we have table salt, which is NaCl, which is made of one sodium and one chlorine atom. So chemically, we're going to call this sodium chloride. So it always ends with IDE. And if you want, you can search up more examples and do them and just have a look at some simple examples and try to name them and make notes. And you can also comment down below what you think about it.
Let's look at some fun examples you can see every day. So we have sugar, which is also known as glucose, and its chemical form is C6H12O6. It's made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms, and it makes your treats sweet. So it's actually present in plants. Whenever they make their own food, they have glucose into it to give them energy. And we have ammonia, which is NH3. It's made up of nitrogen and hydrogen atoms. So in this case, one nitrogen atom combined with three hydrogen atoms makes one molecule of ammonia. And it's found in some cleaners. Lastly, we have methane. So this is CH4. It's made up of one carbon atom and four hydrogen atoms, the main component of natural gas used in stoves. So methane is really important to help us cook our food. And these are just some fun examples in our everyday life. And there's so many other examples like water, which is H2O, carbon dioxide, CO2. Every single thing around us is made up of molecules that help us, and we use them in different activities like cleaning, eating, or even cooking that helps us go on with our daily life.
Mhm. Now let's talk about one home experiment. Build edible molecules. So the materials you need are small marshmallows or gummy candies of different colors and toothpicks. Now the procedure is use marshmallows for atoms, white for hydrogen, pink for oxygen, etc. It doesn't have to be the exact colors we just said, but you can have different colors. Just make sure that every atom is a different color. Use toothpicks as the bonds between atoms. Build H₂O. So in our example, we had pink for oxygen and white for hydrogen. So you'll have one pink marshmallow connected to two white ones. Then you can try building CO₂, where let's say C is going to be our yellow marshmallow, and then oxygen is going to be our pink. So we'll have one yellow marshmallow with two pink ones. And we know it's going to be single bonds because we learned about this earlier. So you can always go back in this video or go and watch some other videos of ours in our YouTube channel. So just click on the chemistry playlist and you can find all of the videos.
Now, let's look at another home example. It's making your own chemistry volcano. Isn't that exciting? So the materials you would need are empty plastic bottle, baking soda, also known as NaHCO2, CO3, sorry. And then we have vinegar, which is CH3COOH. You also need the soap and food coloring. That's optional. If you want it to be like, actually colorful, you can pick red, orange, or even not have food coloring if you don't want it. And then a tray or a bowl. When baking soda and vinegar mix with one another, they create a new compound known as carbon dioxide gas, which is CO2. Those are the bubbles you see when this reaction occurs. So step one is place your bottle on a tray. Step two, add 2 tablespoons of baking soda. Step three, add dish soap and food coloring. And step four, pour in half a cup of vinegar and see how your own volcano works. It's really amazing. And please try it out because it shows how wonderful chemistry can be in making our own volcano at home, and how even small reactions like mixing baking soda and vinegar can make different new compounds.
And this is a very fun experiment. No matter how many times I say this, you should definitely try this one. Now you are chemistry superstars. So we learned about atoms, which were the tiniest building blocks of everything. And then we learned about molecules, with, which are atoms that join together with bonds. Now keep exploring. Ask what is it made of wherever you go. So let's say you go shopping or you go to an ice cream store, you can ask the vendor, "Oh, what is this made of?" They're probably going to tell you the ingredients, and you can definitely search them up and have some fun with that too. And we also learned about compounds, which were molecules made of different types of atoms. Also, we did say that all compounds are molecules, but not all molecules are compounds. So remember that because that is a key thing. So that is all we have for you today. Remember to keep exploring, search up things, go around, have some fun, and definitely try the experiments we gave you today. Comment down below how your experiments went, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or video requests. We do look at our comments, so don't worry about us not seeing it. We do look at all of our comments, so that's all we have for you today. See you in our next video. Goodbye.
Bye, Stepsters.